Hello, and welcome to Stoic in Your Life, our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's as intriguing as it is unsettling. Self-destructive? It could be your death drive. Drawing inspiration from the ancient tale of Icarus and delving into the depths of Freud's psychoanalytic theories, we're exploring the enigmatic concept of the death drive. Why do we sometimes act against our own best interests? Could there be an underlying force driving us towards self-destruction and ultimately death? In this video, we'll unravel the mysteries of the human psyche, examining the tension between life and death drives, and pondering over the existential questions they evoke. From the allure of non-existence to the paradoxes of human behavior, join us as we navigate through these complex ideas. But before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss any of our upcoming videos where we continue to explore fascinating and thought-provoking topics. Your support helps us keep bringing you content that challenges the mind and ignites curiosity. Now let's embark on this journey together as we delve into the realm of the death drive and its profound implications on our understanding of human nature. Number 1. Daedalus, the ingenious craftsman and architect of the labyrinth of Crete, once fashioned wings from feathers and wax to escape imprisonment with his son Icarus. He cautioned Icarus against flying too near the sun or sea, warning that the sea's moisture would weigh down the wings and the sun's heat would dissolve them. Yet Icarus, dismissing his father's warnings, soared higher, drawn irresistibly towards the sun. Tragically, as he neared the blazing star, the wax binding his wings melted. The feathers loosened, and Icarus, unable to sustain flight, plummeted into the sea, giving the Icarian Sea its name. This tale prompts us to ponder the reasons behind Icarus's fateful decision. Was it youthful recklessness, a belief in his invincibility, or an enthrallment with danger? Or, perhaps, was there a more profound, unsettling motive? In exploring this, we might consider the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. This sentiment resonates deeply with the concept of the death drive, a theory suggesting an inherent human inclination towards self-destruction and risky behavior. It's a compelling notion, especially for men aged 30 to 65, who often face their mortality and seek meaning in their actions. The story of Icarus can be seen as a metaphor for this drive. His ascent towards the sun, despite the risks, mirrors our own sometimes self-destructive pursuits. Whether it's through overworking, neglecting health, or engaging in harmful habits, these actions, like Icarus's flight, can lead to our downfall. Yet understanding this drive is not about succumbing to it, but recognizing and overcoming it. It's about finding balance, much like Daedalus intended with his moderate flight path. In modern life, this translates to making conscious choices that align with our well-being and values, rather than being swayed by impulsive desires or societal pressures. For men in this age group, it's crucial to acknowledge the presence of this drive and to understand its roots, be it in unmet emotional needs, unresolved past traumas, or the relentless pursuit of societal standards of success and masculinity. Recognizing these factors is the first step in mitigating their impact. The lesson here is not just about avoiding danger, but about understanding our motivations and the consequences of our actions. It's about striving for a balance between ambition and well-being, between reaching for the sun and keeping our feet on the ground. This balance is the essence of a life well lived, a concept deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. In conclusion, the story of Icarus and the concept of the death drive offer a powerful lens through which to view our own lives. By understanding and moderating our self-destructive tendencies, we can navigate life with a serene mind and a resilient spirit, embodying the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with our true nature. Number 2. In the intricate tapestry of human psychology, Sigmund Freud, the Austrian neurologist and father of psychoanalysis, introduced a profound dichotomy: the life drive, eros, and the death drive, thanatos. While eros symbolizes our instinct for survival, reproduction, and pleasure, thanatos represents a darker, more enigmatic force. Freud's concept of the death drive, though speculative, became a cornerstone of his theoretical landscape, highlighting the complex, often contradictory nature of human behavior. The death drive, according to Freud, manifests as an undercurrent of self-destructive behavior, an inexplicable pull towards chaos and demise. It's seen in our tendency to revisit traumatic events in actions that edge us closer to our own downfall, and in the violence we sometimes direct at others. More subtly, it appears in our inclination towards pain and in acts that sabotage our own well-being. Freud suggested that at the heart of these behaviors lies a deep-seated yearning to return to a state of non-existence, a primordial longing for the inorganic. Consider the myth of Icarus. Icarus, equipped with wings made of feathers and wax, was warned by his father Daedalus not to fly too close to the sun. Yet in a moment of exhilarating abandon, Icarus soared higher and higher, only to have his wings melt, plunging him into the sea. This story resonates with the death drive's theme, the seductive pull of a dangerous freedom, a flirtation with self-destruction, and the ultimate return to the inorganic, the sea. In our modern lives, this drive might manifest in less dramatic, but equally telling ways. It's in the procrastination that jeopardizes our success, the unhealthy habits we can't seem to kick, or the toxic relationships we cling to despite knowing better. It's a force that, while often detrimental, also compels us to confront our limits, to explore the unknown, and to question the very essence of our existence. For the audience of Stoic flow, understanding the death drive can be a pathway to greater self-awareness. Stoicism teaches us to embrace life's challenges with resilience and serenity, and recognizing our self-destructive tendencies is a crucial step in this journey. By acknowledging these impulses, we can begin to understand and mitigate their impact on our lives. The lesson here is not to fear or suppress these darker aspects of our psyche, but to understand them as part of the human experience. In doing so, we can find a balance between the life-affirming drive of eros and the shadowy realm of thanatos. The Stoic approach would encourage us to observe these tendencies with detachment, to reflect on their origins, and to make conscious choices that align with our values and aspirations. In conclusion, Freud's concept of the death drive invites us to explore the depths of our psyche, to understand the complex interplay of forces that drive our behavior. By integrating this understanding with the principles of Stoicism, we can navigate life with greater wisdom and equanimity, turning our inner conflicts into opportunities for growth and self-discovery. The key is to recognize these drives, engage with them mindfully, and ultimately, choose a path that leads to fulfillment and well-being. Number 3. In this exploration of the enigmatic concept of the death drive, a notion that has puzzled and intrigued minds for decades, we delve into the depths of human psychology and existentialism. The death drive, a term coined by Sigmund Freud and later expanded upon by thinkers like Jacques Lacan and Slavoj Žižek, presents a paradoxical question. Why do living beings, seemingly wired for survival, exhibit a pull towards self-destruction or even death? This perplexing idea leads us to ponder the sufferings of existence and the seemingly natural longing to return to a state of non-existence, an inorganic state where the turmoil of life ceases. As we navigate through this topic, it's important to note that this isn't a lighthearted journey. For those grappling with mental challenges, it might be wise to approach this content with caution. Our aim here is not to offer solutions or therapeutic advice, but to engage in a thoughtful exploration of Freud's concept and the profound subject of death itself. Imagine, if you will, a world where every action, every thought, is driven not just by a desire to live, but paradoxically, by an undercurrent that nudges us towards our own demise. This is the realm of the death drive. It's a concept that challenges our understanding of human nature, pushing us to question the very essence of our existence. Why do we, creatures of survival, harbor thoughts and actions that seem to contradict this instinct? In the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. This sentiment echoes the struggle within us, a battle between the will to endure life's hardships and the subtle, often unrecognized, yearning for an end to it all. The Stoics, much like Freud, recognize the complexity of human nature, acknowledging that within us lies a profound and sometimes conflicting array of desires and fears. Let's consider for a moment the allegory of the sailor and the sea. A sailor sets out on a voyage, driven by a love for the sea and the thrill of exploration. Yet, deep within, there's an unspoken understanding that the sea, for all its beauty, holds the power to claim his life. This duality, the love for life's journey coupled with an acceptance of its potential to lead us towards our end, encapsulates the essence of the death drive. It's a reminder that in our pursuit of life, we are, in a way, also in a dance with death. This concept of the death drive isn't just a philosophical or psychological curiosity. It's a lens through which we can view many aspects of human behavior. From the thrill seeker who courts danger to the individual who sabotages their own success, the death drive manifests in myriad ways, often unnoticed, guiding our actions and choices. In exploring this concept, we're not just dissecting a psychological theory. We're embarking on a journey into the human soul. We're uncovering the layers of our existence, understanding that within each of us lies a complex web of desires and fears, some that propel us towards life and others that, subtly, beckon us towards an end. As we conclude this exploration, remember that the aim here is not to provide answers but to provoke thought, to encourage a deeper understanding of ourselves and the paradoxes that define our existence. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, the universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. This journey into the death drive is an invitation to reflect on those thoughts, to understand the forces that drive us, and perhaps in that understanding, find a greater appreciation for the beauty and complexity of life. Number 4. In the shadow of the cataclysmic aftermath of World War I, a period marked by unparalleled destruction and loss, Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, observed a seemingly mundane yet intriguing behavior in his young grandson. Engrossed in play, the child would cast a toy out of his view, uttering fort, the German word for gone, only to retrieve it moments later, proclaiming da, meaning there in German. To the untrained eye, this might appear as nothing more than a child's whimsical game. However, Freud discerned in this simple act a deeper, more enigmatic human propensity. The repetition and reenactment of distressing, often traumatic experiences, akin to the pervasive sense of loss. This behavior, Freud postulated, was likely sparked by the boy's experience of his mother's temporary absence, leading him to simulate the pain of loss through his play. Prior to the war, Freud had developed the concept of the pleasure principle, Lustprinzip in German, which posits that humans instinctively seek pleasure and shun pain. Yet his grandson's play revealed a more complex facet of human motivation, one that seemed to contradict this principle. Freud's theory gained further credence as he witnessed the profound trauma inflicted by the war, a trauma that touched him personally with the loss of his daughter. He observed war veterans tormented by recurring nightmares of their battlefield horrors. In his clinical practice, he noted patients who repeatedly found themselves entangled in destructive relationships or situations. This led him to hypothesize the existence of a death drive, an innate human inclination towards self-destruction and mortality. This concept sought to explain the perplexing human tendencies towards self-harm and self-sabotage. Consider the words of the philosopher Seneca. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This aligns with the idea of the death drive, where our minds may lead us to relive or recreate painful experiences, causing more suffering than the events themselves. Expanding on Freud's observations, it's crucial to understand how these tendencies manifest in modern life. Men, particularly those between the ages of 30 and 65, often face unique pressures and challenges. In a world where the hustle of daily life can be overwhelming, It's not uncommon to fall into patterns of behavior that, while familiar, are ultimately harmful. This could range from staying in unfulfilling jobs or relationships to engaging in risky behaviors, all underpinned by this subconscious drive toward self-destruction. The key to navigating these treacherous waters lays in self-awareness and introspection. By recognizing these patterns, individuals can begin to understand their underlying causes and work towards breaking the cycle. This involves a conscious effort to choose healthier coping mechanisms and build more constructive habits. It's about finding balance and understanding that seeking help, whether through therapy, support groups, or personal development, is not a sign of weakness but of strength. In conclusion, Freud's concept of the death drive, as observed through his grandson's play and the traumatic experiences of war, offers a profound insight into human behavior. It challenges us to confront our self-destructive tendencies and to seek healthier, more fulfilling paths. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, let us remember Seneca's wisdom and strive to differentiate between the imagined and the real in our pursuit of a more balanced and resilient existence. Number 5. In our exploration of the enigmatic death drive, we find ourselves confronted with a paradoxical allure towards the inorganic realm, the profound abyss of nothingness, death itself. This concept challenges the widely held belief, particularly in Western cultures, that life is inherently preferable and death is something to be avoided at all costs. Yet death, in its essence, is not only a natural part of existence, but also a release from the myriad sufferings life often entails. It represents a serene, unblemished state of inorganic tranquility, a return to our primordial origins. The common perception of death is shrouded in fear and aversion. It stands as the nemesis to life, the most treasured state which we strive to preserve and prolong. This instinctive desire to live is evident not only in humans, but across all living beings. Our daily endeavors, seeking food and water, securing shelter, and in the case of humans, arranging our lives for future survival, are testament to this innate drive. Failure to achieve these necessities poses a direct threat to our existence. In human societies, the pursuit of health and longevity is paramount. When illness strikes, we seek medical intervention, battling diseases like cancer in the quest for a longer life. This pursuit of longevity is seen as a noble goal, with premature death often viewed as a tragic loss. Beyond mere survival, there is a deep-seated urge to perpetuate life, to pass on our genetic legacy, a trait shared by all living organisms. In this context, the death drive emerges as a counterintuitive force. Pushing against the instinct while tied to preserving life, it beckons towards a state of ultimate peace and stillness, free from the struggles and pains of existence. This drive, while seemingly at odds with our survival instincts, can be understood as a longing for a return to a state of primordial simplicity and purity, unburdened by the complexities of life. To make this concept more relatable, consider the story of Sisyphus from Greek mythology. Tasked with eternally rolling a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down each time, Sisyphus embodies the perpetual struggle of human existence. The death drive, in this allegory, could be likened to the fleeting moments of rest at the bottom of the hill, a temporary escape from the endless toil. In conclusion, while the death drive may seem like a dark and perplexing aspect of our psyche, it offers a profound lesson and advice for our audience. It reminds us that in our relentless pursuit of life and survival, it's important to embrace moments of stillness and simplicity. These moments provide a necessary balance, allowing us to reflect, rejuvenate, and find peace amidst the chaos of life. By understanding and acknowledging this drive, we can cultivate a more harmonious existence, one that honors both the vitality of life and the tranquility of stillness. On number 6. In the intricate tapestry of human existence, we've often grappled with the profound notion that life is a precious gift, a miraculous journey to be treasured. This perspective, sometimes seen as a divine blessing, stands in stark contrast to the undeniable suffering that life inherently brings. Throughout history, great minds have pondered this paradox, each offering their unique resolution to the quandary of human suffering. Consider, for instance, the story of a prince who would later be known as Buddha. Thousands of years ago, he traversed the earth, deeply recognizing that at the heart of our existence lies suffering. His teachings offered a path to enlightenment, a state transcending suffering, breaking free from the relentless cycle of rebirth. Buddha's insights remind us that within the depths of our struggles, there lies the potential for profound transformation and liberation. Fast forward to the 20th century and we encounter Emil Cioran, a Romanian philosopher with a starkly pessimistic view of life. Cioran saw existence not as a joyous journey but as an unbearable ordeal, a catastrophic event to be endured. In his seminal work, The Trouble with Being Born, he challenges the common notion of birth as the ultimate good and death as the unfortunate end. His perspective forces us to confront the often unspoken realities of our existence, questioning the very nature of life and death. These contrasting views on life and suffering bring us to an intriguing concept in psychology known as the death drive. This theory suggests that alongside our instinct to survive and thrive, there lies a subconscious pull towards destruction and chaos. It's as if within us there's a battle between the will to live and an inexplicable attraction to our own demise. The Stoics, like Seneca, taught us that life is not just about enduring hardships, but about how we respond to them. Seneca famously said, "Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters." This Stoic principle aligns beautifully with our exploration of the human condition. It suggests that our focus should not solely be on the duration or the challenges of life, but on the quality and resilience of our response to them. Imagine you're walking a path filled with both beauty and brambles. The Stoics would advise us to appreciate the beauty while navigating the brambles with wisdom and composure. Similarly, in understanding the death drive, we acknowledge our darker impulses but choose to rise above them, embracing life's challenges as opportunities for growth and enlightenment. In this journey of life where suffering and joy intertwine, we find ourselves at a crossroads. Do we succumb to the despair of our struggles, or do we, like the Buddha, seek a path to enlightenment? Do we resonate with Cioran's view of life as an endurance test, or do we embrace the Stoic approach, finding meaning and strength in our responses to life's trials? As you reflect on these perspectives, remember that the essence of our existence is not just in the mere act of living, but in the quality of our living. It's about how we navigate the ebbs and flows, the highs and lows, and how we emerge stronger, wiser, and more enlightened from our experiences. So as you continue on your journey, consider these words, ponder these philosophies, and ask yourself, how will I choose to live my life? How will I respond to the inherent challenges of being alive? In this quest, may you find your path to enlightenment, resilience, and a life lived with purpose and serenity. Number 7. In the intricate tapestry of human existence, the contemplation of life and death weaves a profound narrative, one that has been explored by philosophers across ages. Eminent thinkers like Emil Cioran and Arthur Schopenhauer have delved into the depths of this existential quandary, often arriving at startling conclusions. Cioran, in his piercing insight, viewed birth not as a beginning, but as the root of all evil, with death merely serving as an end to this inherent suffering. He provocatively questioned the dread surrounding death, suggesting that with time, the cessation of life might even be perceived as a relief, both for friends and foes. This perspective aligns intriguingly with the Stoic philosophy, where Seneca once stated, "The part of life we really live is small." For isn't it true that much of life is spent in anticipation or memory, rather than in the moment itself? This Stoic reflection echoes the sentiments of Schopenhauer and later, David Benatar, both of whom argued that life's inherent suffering outweighs its fleeting pleasures. Schopenhauer, with his characteristic pessimism, deemed non-existence preferable to the trials of life, a notion that Benatar expanded upon in his book, Better Never to Have Been. Benneter's rational discourse on the human condition, weighing the inevitable harms of existence against the neutral state of non-being, leads to a startling yet thought-provoking conclusion. The act of bringing new life into this world is, in itself, a moral dilemma, laden with the certainty of pain, disappointment, and ultimately, death. These philosophical musings converge on a singular, intriguing point: the acknowledgement of life's inherent suffering and the contemplation of non-existence as a form of escape. This escape, as envisioned by these thinkers, ranges from the ascetic pursuit of breaking free from the cycle of rebirth to the radical notion of anti-natalism. In our modern lives, these ideas resonate with a peculiar relevance. The daily grind, the relentless pursuit of success, and the inevitable encounters with failure and grief often lead us to question the very essence of existence. How does one navigate this labyrinth of life with a stoic resilience, embracing the ebbs and flows with equanimity? The Stoic philosophy offers a beacon of guidance here, advocating for a life lived in full awareness of its impermanence and the acceptance of its inherent challenges. As we ponder these philosophical insights, we find ourselves at a crossroads of existential inquiry. The wisdom of Kjören, Schopenhauer, and Benatar, intertwined with Stoic principles, invites us to reflect deeply on our existence. It challenges us to live with a heightened sense of awareness and purpose, understanding that while life is fraught with suffering, it is also our canvas to paint with the colors of resilience, wisdom, and serene acceptance. In embracing this Stoic journey, we learn to navigate life not as passive observers but as active participants, crafting a narrative that, while acknowledging life's inherent struggles, also celebrates its potential for growth, learning, and tranquil acceptance. Number 8. In our exploration of the human psyche and its complexities, we encounter a profound concept introduced by Arthur Schopenhauer: the will to live. This notion encapsulates a deep-seated, almost irrational urge to exist and persevere, despite the inherent suffering that life often entails. Schopenhauer poignantly remarked, "We can do as we will, but we can't will as we will." This statement illuminates the paradox of human existence. Our relentless pursuit of desires such as power, status, and wealth, which once attained, only offer fleeting satisfaction. This cycle of desire and discontent perpetuates a never-ending chase, where true fulfillment remains elusive. Reflecting on this, we might ponder the perspectives of philosophers like Schopenhauer, David Benatar, and Émile Cioran. They present a thought-provoking view of life, likening it to an agonizing film that, upon its conclusion, brings a sense of relief. In the realm of non-existence, worries dissipate, trivial concerns and grave issues alike cease to exist. This notion posits death as a liberator, a final curtain call to the relentless drama of life. Enter Sigmund Freud's concept of the death drive, a counterpoint to the life drive. It suggests an unconscious yearning to escape the perpetual suffering of existence. This raises a compelling question: are the philosophical musings of thinkers like Schopenhauer, Benatar, and Kjören merely rational deliberations, or do they stem from a deeper, unconscious longing for the cessation of being? To illustrate this concept, let's consider the allegory of Sisyphus, a figure from Greek mythology condemned to eternally roll a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down each time he nears the summit. This story mirrors our own life struggles, where efforts often seem futile and satisfaction is perpetually out of reach. Yet in this endless cycle, there's a hidden lesson about the human condition, our resilience and the inherent desire to find meaning, even in the face of absurdity. In the context of modern life, we can see this struggle reflected in the pursuit of career goals or personal aspirations. The journey is fraught with challenges and setbacks, akin to Sisyphus's eternal toil. However, it's in this journey that we find purpose and growth, learning to navigate the complexities of life with resilience and determination. In conclusion, while the philosophies of Schopenhauer, Benatar, and Kjören, along with Freud's death drive, present a bleak view of existence, they also offer a deeper understanding of our inner workings. As we navigate life, it's crucial to recognize these dual forces within us, the drive to live and the subtle pull towards non-existence. Embracing this duality can lead to a more profound appreciation of life's journey, encouraging you to find meaning and fulfillment in our endeavors, despite the inherent challenges. The lesson here is not to succumb to despair, but to acknowledge these philosophical insights as a means to enrich our understanding of the human experience, ultimately guiding us towards a more balanced and fulfilling existence. Number 9. Next, we're diving deep into a concept that Freud's theory of the death drive. Have you ever noticed, either in others or perhaps in yourself, a strange fascination with self-destructive behaviors? Think about it. There's the tendency to overindulge in substances, knowing full well the risk of poisoning and long-term health issues. Or consider the perplexing urge to harm oneself, from something as seemingly benign as picking at a scab to more severe forms of self-injury. What draws us to these harmful actions? Could this be a manifestation of a hidden, almost mysterious desire for our own demise? Freud, a name synonymous with psychoanalysis, had his perspectives on human motivation evolve over time, especially when he encountered these self-destructive tendencies that didn't align with his earlier theories. Initially, Freud believed that our actions were primarily driven by the pursuit of survival and pleasure. However, he began to see a more complex, darker side to our motivations. This led him to propose the existence of a death drive, a concept suggesting that alongside our instinct to live, there might be an inherent, albeit perplexing, inclination towards self-destruction. Now let's pause for a moment and think about this with a Stoic perspective. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches the development of self-control and fortitude as a means to overcome destructive emotions, offers a unique lens to view this concept. Consider the words of Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher, who said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote resonates deeply with our discussion. It suggests that understanding and controlling our inner drives, including those that lead to self-destruction, can be a source of immense strength. Imagine this: you're standing at the edge of a cliff looking down into the abyss. It's not just a physical cliff, but a metaphorical one representing the self-destructive urges within us. The wind is strong, and the drop is daunting. This cliff symbolizes the battle between our will to live and the mysterious pull towards self-destruction. It's a battle that takes place in the mind, where our rational thoughts and destructive impulses clash. The Stoics believed in the power of the mind to overcome such internal conflicts. As Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is particularly true when it comes to our self-destructive tendencies. Often they are fueled by our thoughts and perceptions rather than actual desires. So, why do we experience these self-destructive urges? Freud's theory suggests that it's an inherent part of our psychological makeup, a dark counterpart to our instinct for survival. But from a Stoic viewpoint, we can interpret these urges as challenges to be overcome, as opportunities to exercise our mental and emotional strength. By acknowledging these destructive impulses and understanding their roots, we can begin to control them, channeling that energy into more constructive pursuits. In conclusion, while Freud's theory of the death drive presents a somewhat bleak view of human nature, incorporating Stoic philosophy offers a more empowering perspective. It reminds us that we have the power to control our inner world, to choose rationality over self-destruction. As we navigate through life, let's remember the wisdom of the Stoics and use it as a guiding light to overcome our darker impulses. Remember, in the words of Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Let's choose to react with strength, wisdom, and a deep understanding of our own minds. Number 10. In our exploration of the human psyche, we've delved into the intriguing concept of the death drive, a notion introduced by Sigmund Freud. This theory suggests a deep-seated, often unconscious preference for death over life, a phenomenon that might seem counterintuitive at first glance. Freud posited that the death drive, also known as thanatos, named after the Greek personification of death, is a fundamental biological drive. It stands in stark contrast to eros, the life force or life drive, and encompassing self-preservation, reproduction, and creativity. The death drive represents an innate longing to revert to an inanimate state, a primordial condition from which life originally emerged. Freud's perspective on this is quite profound. He stated, "If we are to take it as a truth that knows no exception, that everything living dies for internal reasons becomes inorganic once again, then we shall be compelled to say that the aim of all life is death, and, looking backward, that inanimate things existed before living ones." This view extends beyond the mere biological inevitability of death. It suggests an active, albeit unconscious, yearning for demise, a desire for the cessation of the existential journey earlier than nature dictates. It's as if the tension created by our departure from non-existence seeks to resolve itself. A longing to return to our original state of nothingness is In this context, the story of Icarus can be reinterpreted. Rather than seeing his actions as mere bravery or youthful folly, we might consider them as an expression of this unconscious death drive, a yearning to break free from life's inherent tensions into the tranquility of non-existence. Echoing this sentiment, philosopher Émile Cioran observed, "Life inspires more dread than death. It is life which is the great unknown. Death, in contrast, is the great known, a state devoid of aspirations, fears, burdens, or worries, offering a peculiar form of liberation." However, Freud's concept of the death drive is more nuanced than a straightforward longing for non-existence. It also manifests in various complex behaviors that piqued Freud's interest. These include irrational forms of destructiveness, not necessarily direct attempts to escape life. One such behavior is the repetition compulsion, where individuals repeatedly engage in self-destructive patterns or relive traumatic experiences, despite being aware of these tendencies. As Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote resonates deeply with our discussion, as it highlights the Stoic belief in mastering one's internal state, a principle that can be applied to understanding and potentially overcoming the death drive. By recognizing and harnessing the power of our minds, we can confront and mitigate these self-destructive impulses. In our modern lives, where the pace and pressures can often feel overwhelming, understanding the death drive becomes increasingly relevant. It's essential to recognize these unconscious tendencies within ourselves and learn to navigate them with awareness and resilience. The Stoic approach of focusing on what we can control, our thoughts and reactions, can be a powerful tool in this journey. By doing so, we can find a balance, acknowledging the allure of non-existence while choosing to engage with life's challenges and joys with a clear and serene mind. Number 11. In our journey through life, we often encounter moments where we're drawn to things that don't necessarily serve our well-being. Take, for instance, the experience of listening to music that brings back painful memories. It's a curious thing, isn't it? Why do we sometimes choose to immerse ourselves in sadness and melancholy, especially through songs that are tied to traumatic past experiences? This act of revisiting hurtful memories seems counterintuitive, much like knowingly touching a hot stove. It's clearly something that doesn't contribute to our happiness, yet there's an undeniable, almost mysterious satisfaction in it. This paradoxical behavior aligns with what Sigmund Freud described as the death drive. Freud, a name synonymous with psychoanalysis, proposed this intriguing concept, suggesting that humans have an inherent tendency to seek pain over pleasure. It's a notion that challenges our understanding of self-preservation and happiness. The death drive, according to Freud, isn't just about internal turmoil. It also manifests externally as aggression towards others. This external projection can be seen in behaviors like sadism, where the infliction of pain on others is sought after. In contrast, masochism, which is the desire for self-inflicted pain, reflects the inward focus of the death drive. But why do we have this drive? Freud believed it was a way to relieve life's tension, yet paradoxically it often maintains or even heightens this tension through a phenomenon he called repetition, compulsion. This concept is one of the most debated in Freud's body of work, largely due to its contradictory nature. It challenges our understanding of human behavior, making us question the very essence of our desires and actions. As we delve deeper into this concept, it's essential to remember the wisdom of the Stoic philosophers. They taught us about the importance of understanding and controlling our desires and emotions. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This quote resonates deeply with the idea of the death drive. It suggests that while we may not have control over the existence of certain drives or tendencies within us, we do have the power to understand and manage them. In this light, the death drive can be seen as a call to introspection and self-awareness. It's an invitation to explore the deeper aspects of our psyche, to understand why we might be drawn to self-destructive behaviors, and to learn how to redirect these tendencies towards more constructive ends. The Stoics believed in the power of rational thought and self-control, principles that can guide us in navigating the complexities of the death drive. So, as we continue on our life's journey, let's embrace the wisdom of both Freud and the Stoics. Let's strive to understand the intricate workings of our minds and emotions, and use this understanding to cultivate a life of balance, resilience, and well-being. Remember, it's not just about avoiding pain or seeking pleasure. It's about finding harmony within ourselves and in our interactions with the world around us. This is the essence of a life well lived, a life that harmoniously blends ancient wisdom with modern understanding. Number 12. In our previous exploration, we delved into the enigmatic concept that within our yearning for non-existence, there lies a deeper craving for tranquility and peace. This longing often manifests in perplexing ways, one of which I have personally encountered: substance abuse. Consider the question: why would someone willingly consume alcohol to the point of unconsciousness, or inject harmful substances into their body? On the surface, such actions seem irrational. Yet through the lens of the death drive, a theory proposed by Freud, these behaviors can be seen as expressions of an unconscious desire to return to a state of non-being. The allure of these substances primarily lies in their capacity to provide an escape from the harsh realities of life. Freud's concept of the death drive, however, has been a subject of controversy and skepticism. Critics argue that there is insufficient empirical evidence to substantiate the existence of such a drive. They suggest that other psychological theories, like attachment theory, behaviorism, and cognitive theories, offer more plausible explanations for self-destructive tendencies and outward aggression. Despite the criticism, the idea of the death drive has been further developed by thinkers like Jacques Lacan and Slavoj Žižek. Lacan, diverging from Freud, did not view the death drive as a biological phenomenon. Instead, he saw it as an integral part of the symbolic order, the realm of symbols, language, and social norms that construct our reality. In Lacan's perspective, the death drive operates more on the level of thought than biology. Žižek, aligning with Lacan's view, also emphasized the influence of societal factors, particularly consumerism, in triggering the death drive. As we ponder these perspectives, it's essential to reflect on the Stoic philosophy, which offers a contrasting viewpoint. The Stoics, like Seneca, believed in embracing life's challenges with resilience and wisdom. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This Stoic principle encourages us to confront life's difficulties head-on, rather than seeking escape or self-destruction. In our journey through life, we often encounter moments of despair and self-destructive impulses. These moments can be seen as calls to examine our inner world and the societal structures that shape our experiences. By understanding the complex interplay of psychological theories and philosophical insights, we can better navigate these challenges. The Stoic approach, in particular, offers a valuable perspective, in fostering resilience and finding peace within ourselves, amidst the chaos of the external world. In conclusion, the concept of the death drive, whether viewed through Freud's psychoanalytic lens or the societal critiques of Lacan and Zizek, invites us to introspect on our deepest desires and fears. It challenges us to seek understanding and balance in our lives, resonating with the Stoic philosophy of embracing life's ebbs and flows with a serene mind and a resilient spirit. As we continue on this journey, let us remember that the path to tranquility and peace often lies in confronting and understanding our innermost struggles, guided by the timeless wisdom of both modern psychology and ancient philosophy. As we conclude today's exploration into the enigmatic realm of the death drive and its potential connection to loneliness and social isolation, I invite you to reflect deeply on how these concepts resonate with your own experiences. Stoicism teaches us the power of self-awareness and the importance of understanding our inner workings. By acknowledging and confronting our self-destructive tendencies, we embark on a transformative journey towards personal growth and true happiness. I encourage you, my fellow Stoic travelers, to apply these principles in your daily lives. Observe your actions and thoughts. Are they leading you towards a fulfilling life, or are they echoes of a deeper, unacknowledged drive? Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. Your reflections not only enrich your own journey but also serve as guiding lights for our community here at Stoic in Your Life. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth and every insight a step towards serenity. Thank you for joining me on this thought-provoking journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Stoic in Your Life, for more content where ancient wisdom meets the modern hustle. Until next time, embrace the Stoic path and let it illuminate your way.